Soil acts as a water reservoir between irrigation or rains. Soil is also a nutrient reservoir and it mechanically supports and stabilizes plants. Each soil type has a different capability of holding moisture based on soil depth, soil texture, soil structure and soil water tension. A combination of these elements determines the amount of water available to the plant. Soil type may vary within the root zone. So, it is important to know crop root depth and the soil type throughout the root zone. Plants differ in their ability to withdraw water from soils, their water use rate and their ability to withstand soil water stress. When the moisture content in the soil declines to a certain point, plants begin to irreversibly wilt. This point is called the permanent wilting point, that is PWP, and is measured by the soil water tension. Plant available water PAW is expressed as the amount of water held between the field capacity and the permanent wilting point. Each crop or crop variety will have a different permanent wilting point. Plant available water must be determined for the whole root zone. Water salinity may also influence plant available water. A farmer should allow the plants to deplete a pre-selected percentage of the plant available water before irrigation again. This percentage is called the managed allowable depletion, that is MAD. And many changes depending on growth stage. Example, cotton may need to be stressed at certain growth stages to maximize yields or crop quality. Soil moisture monitoring throughout the root zone should be used to determine the exact amount of water needed to manage plant available water. Plants take 40% of the water they use from the top 25% of the root zone. So, overfilling the soil behind field capacity in the bottom 25% of the root zone will cause us deep percolation rather than increasing yields. Crop rooting depth will be dependent on local conditions such as soil salinity, changes in soil type, compaction, shallow water tables and fertility. Rooting depth is less in clay soils than the sandy soils. Better management practices can be as effective as new technology in increasing water use efficiency. Using the techniques mentioned above, farmers can determine how much water is needed to maximize productivity while minimizing the water waste. After the field capacity of the soil in the root zone has been reached, the crops cannot utilize the excess water and may be stressed from reduced oxygen levels of saturated soil. Furthermore, the water, the energy used to pump that water and the money spent on energy cost will be wasted. Soil water content or moisture content is the quantity of water contained in the soil. Soil water content is expressed as either a percentage of the volume or mass of the soil material or as an equivalent depth, similar to how the weather report expressed precipitation. Soil as a physical entity on the landscape is actually a very porous material with approximately half of the volume of the soil material consisting of pore spaces filled with either water or gases. For example, when 25% of the soil volume is filled with water, the soil water content is said to be 25% by volume. Only a portion of the total soil water is available to the plant. As soil dries, the stress that plant experiences as water is removed from the soil gradually increases. At field capacity, maximum water content, plant uses water at the maximum rate determined by climatic condition at the time. As the soil water content drops below the field capacity and progressively becomes less and less, plants use less and less water. Eventually, the tension with which water is held in the soil becomes sufficiently great that water can no longer be removed by the plant, and the plant experiences stresses. Different crops have different water requirement and respond differently to water stress. Both the magnitude of the stress and the timing of the stress relative to the plant growth process. The range of water used for crops and loss of water also varies from one area to another. Water is lost from the soil in 4 ways. Number 1, surface runoff. Number 2, downward movement of drainage. Third one, evaporation from the soil surface. Fourth one is transpiration through leaves of the plants. Uncontrolled water is the main causes of soil erosion. Almost all methods that deal with the soil conservation are in principles of methods of control and conserve water. Soil and water conservation are therefore dealt together. Sufficient studies on all phases of hydrologic cycle such as evaporation, precipitation, runoff, infiltration and deep percolation, which occur simultaneously, have not been carried out in India as yet. Though to beginning has been made at many agriculture research stations, although a live plant may contain 70 to 90% or more moisture content, this water is not the same water from the day to day. Water within the plant is continuously removed and replaced. In fact, the full amount of water in some plants can be possibly transpired and replaced with new water within one day. Under conditions that favors transpiration, Devlin 1975 reported, according to Morey et al. 2003, the rate of ascent of water from the roots to the leaves can be fast as 75 centimeter or 0.7 meter per minute. About 90% or more of the water that enters a plant through its roots are usually transpired from the surface of the leaves. Only less than 5% is retained by the plant for growth and less than 1% is used biochemically. That is reported by Madder 1993, Hopkins 1999. Although water is essential for crop growth, its requirement for each crop is definite. It may changes according to the season, Kharif, Rabi or summer, or according to the soil type. It is light soil, medium soil or heavy soil, but net requirement may not change. The total water requirement, critical stages of water application and number of irrigation turns through which this water is to be given have been decided by experimentation. Water losses from the fields can be prevented by various techniques such as cultural methods, minimum weeds or no weeds, mulching, mulching with straw mulch, black plastic fill mulch, pebble mulch, etc. Water is one of the most important input essential for the production of crops. Plants need it continuously during their life and in huge quantities. It profoundly influences photosynthesis, respiration, absorption, translocation, utilization of mineral nutrients and cell division besides some other process. Both its shortage and excess affects the growth and development of a plant directly and consequently it yields and quality. Rainfall is the cheapest source of natural water supply for crop plants. In India, however, rainfall is notoriously capricious, causing floods and droughts alternately. Its frequency, distribution and amount are not in accordance with the need of the crops. Artificial water supply through irrigation on one occasion and removal of excess water through drainage on another occasion, therefore, become imperative. If the crops are to be raised successfully, water management in India thus comprises irrigation or drainage or both, depending considerably on the environmental conditions, soil, crops and climate. It is a situation oriented entity. Water affects the performance of crops not only directly but also indirectly by influencing the availability of other nutrients, the timing of cultural operation, etc. Water and other production input interact with one another. In proper combination, the crop yields can be boosted manyfold under irrigated agriculture. LEPA, low energy precision application, and LISA, low elevation spray application. LISA irrigation system distribute water directly to the furrow at a very low pressure, that is 6 to 10 psi, through sprinklers positioned at 12 to 18 inches above the ground level. Conventional high pressure impact sprinkler are positioned 5 to 7 feet above the ground, so they are very susceptible to spray evaporation and to wind drift, causing high water loss and uneven water distribution. LISA system apply water in streams rather than the fine mist to eliminate wind drift and to reduce the spray evaporation, deep percolation and underwatering. LEPA irrigation system further reduce the evaporation by applying water in bubble pattern or by using drag house or drag saws to deliver water directly to the furrow. LEPA and LISA system concentrated water on a smaller area and increase the water application rate on the area covered. Therefore, the application rate must be monitored closely to follow the soil intake curve, and furrow dinking should be used to prevent runoff. In addition to water saving, these irrigation systems use much less energy, at least 30% less than conventional system, which reduces fuel consumption and operating cost. Other advantages include reduced disease problem due to less wetting of foliage and easier application of chemicals. Correct management of a LEPA system is essential to realize potential water saving. Farmers who replace older irrigation system with LEPA sprinkler should adjust their management practices so that they do not continue to use excess water. If the pivot system does not have a digital control box showing that amount of water applied, meter should be installed or reading from the portable meter should be requested from the local water district to accurately determine how much of water is being applied. Drip irrigation applies small amount of water frequently to the soil area surrounding the plant roots through flexible tubing with built-in or attached emitters. Subsurface drip irrigation, that is SDI, delivers water underground directly to the roots. Since water is supplied directly to the individual plant roots, SDI minimize or eliminate the evaporation, provides a uniform application of water to all crop plants and applies chemicals more effectively. Drip irrigation also reduces plant stress and increases the crop yield. A carefully managed amount of water is applied, thereby avoiding deep percolation, runoff, while reducing the salt accumulation. Since a constant level of moisture is maintained around the root zone, with less surface moisture present in between the rows, weed growth is reduced. Water content with crop leaves and fruit is also minimized, making condition less favorable for diseases. Drip system reduce farm operations and maintenance costs through energy savings and automation. Subsurface drip irrigation has allowed a Lubbock country producer to increase his crop yield from 650 pounds of cotton per acre, about 1.3 bales, to 1200 pounds of cotton per acre, about 2.5 bales. Although drip systems are very efficient, they do have some drawbacks because they may clog and are susceptible to damage by the rodents, insects and sedimentation. They must be checked regularly. A good filtration system is essential for proper performance of a drip system. Hard water should be treated to discourage mineral build-up. New systems are expensive and must be designed to suit crops and local soil and climatic conditions. A reliable continuous water supply is necessary to run a drip system, and proper irrigation management and furrow shaping is necessary to prevent salt buildup. Rotating crops with different spacing requirements may be problematic after a drip system is installed. Drip irrigation may not be practical for closely spaced crops such as rice or wheat. If drip tapes are used, they are typically placed 10 inches below the surface. The subsurface irrigation is more efficient water use. SDI saves water with decreased evaporation and deep percolation. Decreased groundwater contamination. SDI decreases leaching of the nutrients carried over the irrigation and poor uniformity. Subsurface drip irrigation provides the most effective management tool, deliver water and nutrients directly to the plant roots at the precise time and in the precise quantity needed. Maximize irrigated acreage. SDI irrigates fields from corner to corner and easily adapts to small and odd-shaped parcels. Optimize plant nutrition. The nutrient carried by the irrigation water are applied directly to the plant roots. Minimize weed growth. SDI irrigation produce drier soil surface and reduce weed germination. Enables the use of the recycled water without adverse environmental impact. Complies with environmental and public health regulations which prohibit overhead irrigation of certain crops with recycled water. Continuous and automatic irrigation of plants and or trees by using porous pipes is the most modern and efficient method of using water for irrigation. It helps delivering the water in the right quantity at the right place and at the right time. Government of Gujarat through GGRC provides a subsidies to the farmers for installation of porous pipe system. Porous pipe is made up from combination of crumbled rubber and LLDPE. As it is a subsurface irrigation system, pipe is laid at the depth of 8 to 12 inches below the ground surface. The system works with low pressure that can be provided by gravity. Overhead tank at the height of 8 to 10 feet above the ground level and does not require continuous electric power. It is therefore most suitable for rural areas where availability of power is irregular. As water is dispensed gradually and near the roots of the plant or a tree, use of water, soluble nutrient, fertilizers are possible. This application of nutrient or fertilizer is also done most economically. Porous pipe is available in the various diameter size such as 12 mm, 16 mm and 22 mm. The subsurface drip irrigation saves up to 70% of the water compared to flood irrigation, that is traditional method. This subsurface irrigation promotes healthier roots and better growth. It increases the crop, vegetables and fruit yields. The subsurface irrigation supplies water directly, reaches the root zone, thus encourages deeper and extensive root development. Continuous moisture level eliminates the shocks of the wet or dry cycles. Liquid fertilizers can be added. That subsurface irrigation eliminate insect and disease associated with the surface moisture. No scope for weeds, fungus, molds or rots because there is no standing water if we use the subsoil irrigation system. No loss of moisture due to evaporation or runoff in comparison to surface watering. Using the methods outlined above will not only conserve water, but will preserve water quality, reduce or eliminate the drainage problem, conserve energy, often increase production and save money. The stress of droughts, higher expenses and low commodity prices will continue to make efficient water management practices a necessary tool for farmers who wish to remain competitive in the today's market. Efficient agriculture water conservation practices are essential to ensure the viability of the Texas agriculture industry. Thank you.